Let's start off our program today with a discussion of nouns and gender.
Nouns are people, places, things, and ideas. Nouns are treated differently in Italian than they are in English. In Italian, all nouns have a gender, meaning they are either masculine or feminine.
You can usually figure out the gender of an Italian noun by looking at the way the word is spelled, specifically the last letter. Most Italian words end in the vowels O, A, or E. A very few nouns end in consonants, which tells us that they're borrowed from other languages.
Here are the general rules to identify the gender of Italian nouns. We're talking in general now, but the guideline is that if the noun ends in an O or a consonant, it's masculine.
Abito, negozio, ragazzo, treno, and zaino are example of masculine nouns that end in an O. Sport is an example of a masculine noun that ends in a consonant. Remember, if a noun ends in an O or a consonant, it's a masculine noun.
The words we've talked about so far make it pretty easy to tell if they're masculine. But hark, an exception through yonder window breaks. If the last letter of a noun is an E, you have a toss-up. Nouns that end in E have an equal chance of being masculine or feminine. It's heads.
Studente and ospedale are masculine nouns ending in an E. We'll cover some feminine E nouns. For now, just know that with nouns ending in E, you will have to memorize the gender when you learn each new vocabulary word.
In general, if a noun ends in an A, it is feminine. From our list of siesta nouns, amica, biblioteca, chiesa, idea, macchina, ragazza, strada, università, and zia are feminine nouns. All end in A.
Seems easy, right? Oh, well, not so fast. Remember that tricky E? Nouns that end in E don't give their gender away. They might be masculine, they might be feminine. Who knows?
Ospedale and studente are masculine, and automobile and lezione are feminine. There's no indication of gender. The only way to know the gender of these words is to learn it when you learn the vocabulary. You just gotta memorize it.
The only time you can be sure of the gender of a noun that ends in an E is if the noun refers directly to a person. Let's use Robert and Roberta to explain. If we were talking about Robert, saying that he was a singer, cantante, we would know in this case that cantante was masculine. Same goes for Roberta. If Roberta was the singer we were talking about, cantante would be feminine.
So far, looking at the final letter of nouns has been pretty helpful in determining the gender of a noun.
But there are some fascinating exceptions. Here's an easy one first. If the noun ends in an accented vowel, there's no indication of the gender.
And the interesting one, if a noun is an abbreviated form of a longer noun, the final letter is an unreliable indicator of the gender of the noun. Abbreviated nouns keep the gender of the longer noun they are derived from.
Okay, let's take the word photo. Look at the last letter. It's an O. Well, it seems like the word should be masculine because nouns ending in O are generally masculine. Here's the thing. Photo is actually short for fotografia. Ah, look at that. Fotografia ends in an A, so we can guess that it's feminine, which it is. So when we shorten it to photo, it's still feminine.
There are few nouns like this, but for the most part, they're straightforward. Just remember that some nouns might have been shortened. Now let's review.
All Italian nouns have a gender. They're either masculine or feminine. You can tell the gender of most nouns by looking at the last letter. Most nouns end in a vowel. In general, nouns ending in an O or a consonant are masculine, while nouns ending in an A are feminine. If a noun ends in an E, it's a toss-up. The noun could either be masculine or feminine. If a noun is a shortened version of another word, like photo, it keeps the gender of the longer word.
To watch more free educational videos, visit our website, studioforlearning.tv. Stretch your brain online.